Pass the 40 pass the 40 cause my mother's not looking.
Hey, what's happening, everyone? Today's guest on Past the 40 is Maria Dismondy. Maria, how are we doing?
Oh, good. Hello. How are you?
You come with intro music. What was that little tune that was playing in the background?
My children doing something on my computer before it shut down. I'm sorry about that. Okay.
Not a problem at all. How's your day going today?
It's great.
Where are you joining us from?
I am here in Michigan. We're about 30 minutes outside of Detroit. We're in a little small town called Walled Lake.
All right, very nice. We just discovered that I actually went to college in Ann Arbor, so we have that going for us today.
We sure do.
Among many other things.
I was a Spartan.
Oh, is that right? We didn't get to we didn't want to reveal that before the interview. Now it's too late. We're on camera. It's being recorded. I have to continue. I guess we were there around the same time, considering the theme of this podcast.
Exactly. I graduated in 2000.
Very cool. So. I was 99.
Awesome.
Are you ready for 40 questions today?
I am ready. Let's do it.
All right. I am ready as well. Let's get to it. Is it true that you double booked and we had to change this last minute? What could be more important than actually talking with me today? It
is true that I double booked. Shame on me. You think I'd get it together by the time I was 40, but...
Right. What, you are a children's book author. What are the books that you have written?
I have 10 books, so 10. I'm not going to name... I do, so I'm not going to name them all for you, but my bestseller is called Spaghetti in the Hot Dog Bun.
Spaghetti in the Hot Dog Bun? Like what age group is that geared towards?
Yeah, it's a children's picture book, ages 4 to 10.
Okay, awesome. Were you always a writer?
Was I always a writer? Yes, but I wrote in my diary for many, many years. So I didn't always write stories. I have 22 diaries.
22 diaries, which started at what age?
Kindergarten.
Wow, every day?
In kindergarten, I wrote about the weather in a diary for about a year. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't, I grew as a writer.
I would hope so.
Yeah. So it really, yeah. I mean, and now I even keep a diary with each of my daughters who are a little bit older than my son. I continue to love to write, but I don't always like writing stories. I think the biggest part of writing that I like is the message that gets out into the world. So.
But your diary doesn't get out into the world. That just kind of gives you the daily practice of the reps, yeah. Right? Exactly. I came across a few years ago my 4th grade journal, and it was an epic piece of prose, I must say. So I can imagine, like, looking back at a diary from your whole life has to be a fun thing to do once in a while. If you could teach a high school class on any subject, what would that be?
Oh, I know what this would be. I would teach life skills, like communication, life skills, because being a grown-up is hard enough, but then being a grown-up and having to communicate with mean people and having to communicate with, people who don't understand what you're trying to say, I would teach some sort of a class on communication and life skills.
It's a good one. It's amazing that the higher levels of education don't do things like that, but bioanthropology is important.
Exactly.
What is something that you're very excited about right now?
What am I excited about right now? I am excited about work. I really like what I do for work. And so finding the balance and the harmony in work and being a mom is always very exciting. So my kids are home right now for the summer, and I'm loving that too.
Nice. When you were a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up? Was it always writing?
No, I wanted to work at Taco Bell.
At Taco Bell, okay.
That was one of my big things. And then I also wanted to be a teacher, which I have been there and done that.
Okay, so you wanted to be a teacher, you did it, and then you also wanted to be a writer, and you did that.
Mm-hmm. I didn't plan on becoming an author. That kind of just happened. So yeah, I graduated in education. I did that for just over a decade.
Awesome. Is there anything else on your list that you want to be that you might get to one day in the latter half of life?
No, but I when people say, what are your 5-year plans? I don't really believe in that anymore because I really thought I was just going to be a teacher for the rest of my life.
So what is your 5-year plan?
Well, I don't have one.
Don't have one. It's out.
No.
Day by day?
Day by day.
Sounds good to me. Let's say you have to go on a road trip from Michigan to Idaho, and you have to bring 3 people with you. Who would be in that car, but not family members?
Ooh, not family members. This is a great question. I would bring my friend Danielle because she makes me laugh really hard, so hard that my belly hurts. I'm not into famous people, so if some people answer this with famous people, it's just not my thing. I would prefer to have people I care about. I would bring my friend Holly because we can talk about anything and everything, which is really exciting. Gosh, the third person, that's a tricky one. Who else would I bring? I can't be a family member, huh?
Nope.
Oh, my friend Erica, because we just have so much fun together. So I would just bring friends with me.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. People have kind of split on how they attack this question. Like half go all celebrities that they've never met before, and you've no idea what the car chemistry is like. And then other people are, straight up friends. So Danielle, Holly, and Erica. If I asked any of those 3 girls, ladies, what 3 words would they use to describe you? What would they say?
Loyal, adventurous, and quirky.
Very nice. And how would they fill in the following sentence? I love Maria. She is the greatest, but I wish she were a little less blank.
I love Maria. She is the greatest friend, but I wish she were a little less of a go-getter. My friends, yeah, it really drives them crazy that I'm a go-getter.
Why? Isn't that like a lot of people would think that was a redeemable quality?
Like, Maria, why are you do so much and you make it seem so easy? And I'm like, but that's who I am. I'm not doing it to prove a point. Like, I just wake up in the morning and I'm like, today could be the last day. Let's live it up. So
it's a fantastic approach.
Thank you.
If you could work for any person in the world, who would it be and what job would you want?
If I could work for any person in the world, great. You've come up with the greatest questions.
Thank you.
I want to help people. So who can I work for that would allow me to help people? I would work for that person. So who could I work for? Could I work for the President of the United States to help people? I don't know about that.
Not currently.
Not currently. Maybe in the last session, for sure, I would work for Obama. I just really want to help people. I want to make a difference, and I want to do it as quickly as possible. It's kind of slow as molasses with my books, but it's working. So if I had the opportunity to have some power to do it a little bit faster, I would.
Do you have more books in the hopper? We're waiting to be put out to the world, or are you on a rest from that?
I am. I've hung up my hat of writing myself, and now what I'm doing is I'm helping other people to publish their books. So I opened a publishing company a couple years ago, Cardinal Rule Press, and we are taking on authors every year to publish their books.
That was like a couple questions down about Cardinal Rule Press. I was going to ask about that, so you're ahead of the game. What is that? Are those only children's book authors or any type of authors?
Yeah, we're very specific. We have a very specific niche, whatever you want to call it. So we do realistic fiction. So realistic fiction picture books. Super niche.
Realistic fiction picture books.
So no dancing dinosaurs, no singing fish. Like they're stories about real
things
kids.
That really happen.
Yeah.
Okay, but fiction, all made up, not like a nonfiction story, narrative, or historic situation.
Exactly.
If you were hosting this podcast, what is a question that you would want to ask other 40-year-olds?
What advice would you give to your 20-year-old self?
Do you know that is a question on the list that's that's coming up? So we're going to go to that right now and say, what advice...
I don't, because I told you I was very unprepared today.
Well, but you did see this at some point, and that one was on it, so it must be somewhere in your subconscious.
It's a good question. It's a good one.
So what is it?
I mean, I would tell myself that everything's going to be okay. Like, just, take it day by day, and there's a plan, and you don't have to plan it out yourself. It just will come along. Your journey is going to happen as it should.
It's amazing how many of our peers were so worried at the age of 20. Like, so everyone answers this question, like, stop worrying, relax, or something along those lines. And I don't know. I didn't fall into that bucket, but
how would you answer that question? I know I'm not supposed to probably ask that, but how would you answer?
When I'm a guest one day on this podcast, what advice would I give my 20-year-old self would be, get out of my bubble more. Like, I had a very comfortable bubble, and I like had a really great childhood and everything, but I just wanted to, I should have left more and did things that made me uncomfortable more than I did.
Do you like to do that now, or
this is not
so
about
much?
me? Yes, very much so now in my older, wiser life. Certainly stepping outside of the box a lot more.
Very cool.
Anyhow, back to you. That's what people came to see. They see me all the time. Fill in a sentence. I'm not as blank as I used to be.
I'm not as caring about the little stuff as I used to be.
Oh, so that's in a good way. When you first said it, you're like, oh, you don't care, so it's not that great. You don't sweat the minutia.
Mm-mm.
All right, good one. Now that you have experience as a parent, what is something that your parents or parent did really well?
My parents were both really hard workers, and so they showed me the importance of work ethic. And so I think about that often with my own children. And how can they see that in my daily actions?
How can they?
Oh, well, for example, we were on vacation last week and I was alone with the kids without my husband. And I was like, all right, Team Dismondy, you all have a suitcase. Grab your suitcases. We're taking them up this flight of stairs. Like, I'm just incorporating them in the process, and I'm not doing everything for them.
And they're watching you be a go-getter every day.
They are. They're watching me lug my suitcase up that flight of stairs.
What is something that you gave up on and wish you hadn't?
Ooh, that is such a good question. What is something I gave up on? I think I can bring this back, but I started a nonprofit, probably almost 10 years ago now, and was really into it with my friend. And then we kind of like went through a different season of parenting, and I'd like to get back to that. So we would raise money every year and do certain events to help others, and it's kind of gone by the wayside.
What was the cause?
Local families in Detroit. So it's called Making Spirits Bright. And now, like, one of my books, actually a certain amount of the proceeds goes to the charity. So we have money in the charity, but we need to like spend it and do something with it.
Right. These are the opposite of most charities.
Yeah.
Who is your celebrity crush, if you have any?
Jude Law. No. Oh, can I say another one?
Sure.
Chris Martin. Chris Martin is my number one. Chris Martin. And I can say that with such gusto because I think my husband my husband has a crush on him too. Huge Coldplay fans, and I would have dreams that I was the manager of Coldplay when I was pregnant with my kids.
Oh yeah.
It was fantastic.
That's a pretty interesting recurring dream. You wrote in your 5 facts, celebrate the ordinary. What is something ordinary that you make a point to celebrate?
That's a very unique question, and I like that term because just the simple things. So, for example, today we had donuts for breakfast, and that's really special. And instead of bringing them home to eat, I got a little creative because, like I said, I'm kind of single parenting right now. We went and ate them on the bleachers of our local high school football stadium. Mm-hmm. And I was like, this is so ordinary. We're just eating breakfast, but it was a 3-minute drive, and here we are eating in this great. And then we ran around the field and had fun. Cool. So celebrate the ordinary. It's just breakfast, but you can make it fun.
Yet it's not.
It
can be so much more. What is, besides spaghetti in the bun, what's a book that everyone should read?
The Potato Chip Champ is another book of mine. So there's kind of a theme if you haven't picked up on that yet.
Besides your books.
Oh, besides my books.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. I'm a reader. I am a reader. Has everyone read The Notebook? I love that book.
Has everyone read it? I don't know. I have not. So I haven't. So there you go. I'll put that on my list.
More honestly, though, recently I read How to Be a Badass, and I read it twice. It was that good. And Jen Shapiro, I think is her last name. So yeah, I think everyone should read that because it's a fantastic read.
Good, because I had that downloaded on my Audible for an audiobook to listen to. It's like one of the next ones up in my rotation there.
Super.
Awesome. Let's say you're going to a deserted island and have a 6 CD changer with you that you can bring for the rest of your time. What are you slotting into the 6 CDs? And we're very age appropriate here because probably our kids have no idea what a CD is.
Okay, ready? So it's going to be Coldplay. It's going to be Phil Collins. Straight up, Phil Collins' greatest hits.
Album.
Oh, I got to go with the album?
I mean, you can't put Phil Collins into
Greatest hits!
Oh, greatest hits. Okay. What about Coldplay?
Yep. Gosh, any of theirs, honestly. I don't know which one. I would pick any of theirs. Sarah McLachlan, fantastic. I actually really like her Christmas album. So I would throw her Christmas album in there.
Holiday cheer on a deserted island. Can't hurt.
I mean, why not? David Gray, White Ladder is the album of that one. Let me think who else. Dave Matthews Band. Is it Crush or Crash? I can't remember what the album is. It has, I can imagine it. It has a big top on it.
I'll go with Crash.
Okay, and then the 6th one, let's throw in some Lindsey Stirling. Do you know Lindsey Stirling? I don't know the album, but she is a violinist, and She rocks it out. She's more of a current person.
All right, Lindsey Stirling. What is a skill that you want to acquire in the next 40 years of life?
I would like to be able to do my own finances as far as like accounting goes with like taxes. Excel, P&Ls, taxes. I would like to say I filed my own taxes. That would be pretty cool.
That's doable. I think that's definitely achievable.
It's not exciting, but it's a skill. It's a skill that I think would make me feel really good that I could do.
All right, then make it happen. Would you rather live 25 more years with no regrets or 50 more years with many?
25 with none.
All right. How did you celebrate your 21st birthday?
Oh, I went to a bar at Michigan State, and at the time I was living with all men. I was renting because it was a summer session at Michigan State, and I was doing some summer classes, and I was renting, actually my husband, but it wasn't at the time. I was renting his room from him. And so everybody would get, sub-renters in the summertime. And so it was all men in my house, and they all took me out to the bar, and it was wild times.
Nice. The East Lansing pub?
Yes, that's correct. The Land Shark.
What is something that hangs on the wall in your home?
Photos. We have a lot of photos, mainly in my bedroom because I don't want to seem vain. So I have my favorite wall is in my bedroom, and it's photos of my kids. And what else hangs in our home? Everything in our home that hangs is really cool because it's something that is meaningful. So on our honeymoon to Aruba, we bought this really cool painting. And so everything has a reason. It's not anything like we went to Home Goods and bought something and it just looked cool, so we put it up. So that's something I like about our home.
Yeah, as it should. That's why I think this is a good question. This is a total aside, but I think this question can be like a more intellectual version of Cribs. Like, it's a good way to interview someone walking around your home and showing you what's on your wall, because
absolutely there's a story.
Like you, everything in my home also has a story. It means something to me. We're just not just throwing up some I don't even know what, but some
home goods art.
Yes, none of that. Yeah. Everything's got a story. So I think that's a good thing to do in your house. If you had to live outside of North America permanently, where would you choose to go?
Well, I studied in Thailand as part of my schooling, and I was there for a few months, and I think I would go back there. So from Michigan State, you left and went abroad to Thailand? Mm-hmm. Wow, well done. I only made it to Florence, Italy. Thailand sounds much more exciting. That wasn't when I was getting out of the bubble. Now I don't know if I would travel to Thailand like I did back then. I would be more afraid now, which is sad.
Because having the kids there, just dealing with the family?
I think I know more now. So then I didn't really realize all the risk involved.
No fear for a 21-year-old. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Understood. If you could live the life of any fictional character, who would it be?
Mm-hmm. I might want to be in Sex and the City. Who would I want to be, though, is the question. I'm not sure. Probably Sarah Jessica Parker.
You're not the first one to answer her, actually. When you think of success, who comes to mind and why?
My husband comes to mind because not only like financially is he making his way in the world, but he is a good father. He is a good man. He's meditating. That was important to him. And so I think that he, at his age, which he's 39, he's just a baby. I think he's really been intentional about what's important to him. And I think that defines success in my eyes.
Awesome. We try not to talk about 39-year-olds on this Past the 40 podcast.
Yeah, forget about that.
Maybe next year he's got to step to the mic and become a guest. You guys can be the first husband and wife combo to join. If you had to name your most terrifying moment in life, what would it be?
I was a bystander in drowning.
Ooh. How old were you?
I was 30.
Wow. We won't hurt the mood here and elaborate on that, but that's
some, yeah.
Was it someone that you knew?
No, but I mean the good news is I was able to help 2 people out of 3. So 2 people survived and 1 drowned.
Wow, that's some story.
Yeah, it is.
You said before you were quirky. What is a quirk of yours that few people know about?
That few people know about.
All right, you can give me one that everyone knows about but I don't know about, and then another one that maybe is a little more under the radar.
Oh, gosh. I sleep on the floor a lot.
Why?
I don't know why, but I mean, I thought maybe it was our mattress, and then we got a new mattress. I just like to sleep on the floor. Do
you start the night there, or in the middle of the night you're like, I don't like this, I'm just going to move?
No, because I want to be a married person. So I start the night in bed in our full bed. Maybe that's the problem.
Yeah, we need an upgrade there.
We have a size full. And then I probably like out of 7 nights, probably 5 nights, I end up on the floor and I'm so comfortable and happy on the floor.
Do you do anything to make it comfortable, or you're literally on the
I lay right on our carpet. And I grab a blanket that's usually on the chair right there, and I just lay there. I think that's pretty quirky. Yeah, at 40, sleeping on the floor?
For sure. I never choose to do that. What would you have for your last meal?
I just ate cold shrimp.
Okay. No, not what did you just eat as your last meal. And your last meal on...
Oh, well,
what would you eat on your last meal on Earth?
Well, straight up, I would have sushi. Yum.
From any specific venue that you love, or any kind?
Yeah, it's called the Sushi House.
Okay.
In Farmington, Michigan. It's delicious. So I'd have sushi.
Mm-hmm. Rolls, sashimi. What are we looking at?
Sashimi, spicy tuna. Sashimi is my favorite.
And you just had cold shrimp for lunch, so I guess you're a seafood type. You lean seafood. If you could ensure that your children have an experience that you have had yourself, what would you want that to be?
To travel abroad, but I'm going to need to be on anxiety medicine while they're there.
Right. Back to that worry thing about going to Thailand now. Yeah. When you're not even with them, then I think probably worry quadruples at least.
I can't even believe my parents let me go. I'm like, how did you let me go?
I mean, good for them for letting you go. Thank you, Mom and Dad. I appreciate that. For letting Maria take that trip to Thailand.
Exactly.
And now it's something that you want to let your kids do. So you're gonna figure it out. You'll let them go, and they'll have the best time of their life. What is the best piece of advice that you often give to people? When
people get married, I always write the same thing because I truly believe love conquers all. And I just really believe in love. So that's my greatest advice.
Love conquers all.
It conquers all. And I feel like for those people who don't have love, they will find love. You just got to keep on living. And
well, love doesn't have to be between two individuals. Love can conquer all in your own self, in your own being.
I went through that journey, and yeah, absolutely.
Who is your favorite stand-up comedian?
I don't really listen to comedians.
And
no.
Who's your favorite male actor?
Who's the guy? Jason Bateman. Ozarks. I was thinking, who's the guy in Ozarks? But I love every movie he's in. Jason Bateman.
Jason Bateman is great, and he had such a nice. He was around when we were kids, and then disappeared, and has had an amazing second career. He's hysterical now.
Great comeback.
Yeah, for sure. If you could relive a single day from your past exactly as it was the first time, what would you choose to re-experience?
Oh, this is a lovely, lovely question. So Dave and I, my husband, we were really good friends. And then we dated in college. And then we broke up because he wanted this experience of going to Arizona. And I was in grad school. And I was like, go. Okay. So then we broke up. And then the day we saw each other 4 years later was just magical. And I wish I could relive that day.
And that was it? That day haven't been separated since?
Mm-mm.
Were you in touch in those 4 years, or was
no.
Totally off the grid, live your own life, and then just reconnect and instantly back?
Yeah, off the grid, because I was hurt that he did that, and I just was like, I'm done. And so I wouldn't speak to him, because every time I spoke to him, I was just sad. So I was like, no contact.
That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it.
I heard he was back in town, and so I was like, let's get together.
And that was it. The rest was history.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. What's a pet peeve of yours?
People eating with their mouth open, or when people chew their gum and they make that clicking sound.
You're not the first to mention chewing in this scenario either. And I have actually a very close friend who I was away with this weekend who falls into that category, and I can't stand it. What is a great compliment that you've received that has stuck with you?
Being a good mom. That's one that I hold on to in those hard moments.
For sure. So not many better than that. What is something that all 40-year-olds should go and do or try ASAP, a call to action for the 40-year-old set?
I think the 40-year-olds need to find something they're passionate about. I think self-care is harder and harder as we get older. So, for example, a few years ago, I discovered the outdoors brings me so much joy. So I spend a lot of time running, biking, swimming outside. And so I think that, and that's such an escape for me. And I think that's what 40-year-olds need to do, is find that one thing that brings you joy and passion.
And then go actually do it, guys. Don't keep putting it off.
Do it.
When your kids turn 40, how do you want them to finish the sentence? The most important thing my mom taught me was blank.
To be a good person.
What does that mean, being a good person?
To love on other people and to leave a legacy and do something that is good for others.
Awesome. We flew through this, and we're actually up to our last question here, which is the same for everyone. You chose a song that shockingly is not Coldplay to play us out of here today. What song did you choose, and why?
Okay, I don't remember what song I chose, but I need everyone to remember that I was a hot mess when we started this interview, and I was really prepared. I don't even think did you give me all questions? I don't think you did. So
I gave everyone about half. I gave you 20, 22-ish of the 40. That's how it works.
But I do remember when I was picking this song, I was very strategic about it. So tell us what the song is.
I hope so.
Do you have it in front of you?
Yeah, I do. You also wrote, "This is fun." You wrote, "This is fun," and then you wrote "Brand New" by Ben Rector.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Why? I don't know why. I know which one you chose, but I don't know why.
It's great because you can go to bed at night and be like, today stunk. I did this. I got to forgive myself for that. I messed up on this. And then it's a brand new day. And the song is so fun and it's really uplifting. So I love music. Music is a huge part of my life.
Me too. Thanks, Maria. This was awesome. Quick. See, you didn't get stumped at all, even though you weren't quote unquote prepared. Where can people find you or your books if they want to check anything out?
Yeah, well, so there are very few bookstores left in the world. So if you have a local bookstore, I'd love for you to go to them first and check them out and support your local indie booksellers. But my books are all on Amazon. They're on barnesandnoble.com. They're in the stores. And then if you want to connect with me, Instagram's been a lot of fun for me because I love photography. So I'm Maria Dismondy Books over there.
And Dismondy is Dismondy. And you also have your own website too, correct?
I do, yes. mariadismondy.com.
Awesome. Everyone go check it out. I'm sure a lot of you guys have young kids, and I'm sure those books would be perfect for many of them, including my boys. So I'm going to have to go get my own copies of these guys. Anyway, thanks, Maria. I really appreciate your time today.
Welcome.
Even though we had to adjust due to double booking me, but we still made it happen, banged it out very successfully. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. Have a great day.
You too. Thanks everyone for joining us. Another episode of Past the 40 with Maria Dismondy.